Et bonjour, comment vous allez? Hop, je vois que j'ai oublié de mettre... Hop, on est mieux. Comment ça va? Depuis la dernière fois, moi ça va pas trop mal. Je suis allé voir Barbie hier. C'était... Je suis allé voir Barbie hier. Voilà. Donc, on reprend la petite partie qu'on avait commencé de FF16. Alors, comme d'habitude, en ce moment, je joue beaucoup trop à Elden Ring. Je risque d'avoir encore des petits soucis au niveau des contrôles. Mais on va voir. Bon, vous remarquez aussi peut-être que j'ai changé un petit peu mes overlays. Je pense qu'il va encore y avoir des modifications au fur et à mesure. Puisque je trouve que les barres violettes en haut et en bas sont légèrement trop grosses. Pareil, je vois que les symboles des réseaux sociaux en haut à droite... Ah oui, ah, quand je fais ça, c'est le mauvais côté. Faudrait que j'inverse ma caméra. Ok. Sont pas très centrés, j'ai l'impression. Mais bon, c'est pas très grave. Alors, voyons voir par où faut aller. Hum. Alors, le film Barbie, je sais pas si vous avez eu l'occasion de le voir. Sans spoiler, déjà les 5 premières minutes du film vont assez vénères.
What do we know, Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial
Ça
garrison
sera
in
après.
Rosaria started a fight over at Martha's wreck. Blood was spilled, bones were broken. The usual. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to anyone. And that ain't like her.
You think this was planned?
Course it bloody was. Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip round the Duchy's bull. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy Throne, conspiring to restore the House of Rosfield to power. And now it sounds like the bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing, complained that it was getting harder and harder to take bearers in.
And now she's missing. If she's fallen into the hands of the Empire, we could be next.
Couple of curse breakers are already on their way to the inn. They should help speed up the search. But if this is as bad as I think it is, you might end up having to save their asses and all.
Don't worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone gets home safe.
Du coup, Barbie. Les premières minutes du film, en fait, c'est... Ah, sans spoiler. On va dire que c'est une scène refaite d'un film très connu. Mais où on inclurait Barbie dedans. Ce qui dans un autre contexte pourrait passer, je trouve, mais comme ça fait partie de la diégèse du film, ça fait un peu bizarre, quoi. C'est... Bon, ça m'a beaucoup sorti du film. Surtout que c'est con, parce que il aurait fallu d'un petit tweak scénaristique pour qu'on se dise ah bah non, mais en fait, ils ont fait une référence parce que, je sais pas, par exemple, c'est une pub pour Barbie. Parce que c'est un truc qu'ils utilisent un peu dans le film, des pubs pour Barbie. Comment on descend? Par là? Non, c'est pas par là. Ah non, c'est là-bas, c'est l'ascenseur. Enfin bref, je suis assez déçu du film. Parce que, j'en attendais un peu quelque chose. La bande-annonce m'avait espéré des trucs. Par contre, ça c'est un des trucs qui est bien. La bande-annonce spoil quasiment rien du film. Ce qui est assez cool. Maintenant, bon, Ryan Gosling joue très bien l'idiot. Margot Robbie joue très bien, tout court, j'ai envie de dire.
Damn blighted bilge. Is everything all right?
Aside from the holes in my hull, everything.
The lake water doesn't agree with it, then?
That's one way of putting it. And unless you got some grand scheme to suck the black from the lake like we do in the atrium, that slurry'll keep eating away at the timber like young Tech does our lemon tarts. Suppose a coat of pitch might stave off the rot for a moon or so. Assuming we had any pitch, which we don't. Not any bloody more. Doubt the old tub's got more than a dozen runs left in him.
Of course, hope your skiff is our only means of reaching the mainland.
Well, I'm glad someone round here sees. To make pitch, you need pitch trees. But in case you haven't noticed, live trees are one of the 1,000 things sorely lacking in the Deadlands. Now, I'm not so unkind as to ask you to fell a faraway forest and lug, and it just so happens I once heard the thorny pitches of Curltail Falls.
Sounds easier
Ouais,
than...
ouais. Bref, tu vas réparer ton bateau. Alors, et c'est comme ça normalement. On va commencer par la quête secondaire. Hein.
Easier than felling a forest, I said. Trees don't have teeth.
Arrête, on va faire ça, on va pas se faire chier. Ah bah il résiste mieux quand même. Hein.
Farewell.
Héroïque comme, comme fin de combat, mais.
Can't imagine Obelisk needing any more than this. Time to head home.
Je me suis gouré ou... Ah non, c'est bon là. Et tout. Putain, ça valait le coup de faire une quête pour ça.
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
Best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
Let's get you to a physical, shall we?
Sid? What said you'd be coming?
I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need some help. And it appears he was right.
You, could say that, yes. They're saying the Imperials ascended like a storm. No one was spared their fury. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her were a pair of iron shackles and a hard march.
Any idea where?
Judging by their tracks, they headed towards Sorrowwise Bay.
To the Abbey sheltering Martha's bearers.
The bastards. Jill and I will go after them. You take care of the people here.
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about a culling. I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good. Be careful out there, Sid.
You do the same.
Cole is right. That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling. Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
Encore sa mère qui fait des dégâts.
If those Orsons touch an hair on Martha's head, I'll kill them all myself.
Look. Up ahead. Martha, are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey.
Tell us what happened.
What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened.
The Black Shields.
The bastards caught wind. The Abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick rose from their beds. Poor souls turned on the Imperials. Distracted them long enough for me to get...
Then... they may still be alive, Martha. Do you think you can make it back to the inn? Cole is there with the other curse breakers.
I think so.
Toujours cette différence de traduction complètement folle.
Black Shields.
Ah, je suis désolé, moi je vais des trucs qui brillent, il faut que j'y aille. Ah, je sais qu'ils sont dans l'attente d'un sauveur. Et... ils vont probablement mourir, mais il y a quand même le temps d'aller tuer une de grenouilles quand même. Ah, c'était ça. Donc. Allez, cours, allez, cours. Allez. Allez. Ah ouais, ça c'est cool ça. Allez, t'es censé avoir ton truc qui pète là. Ah. Bon, quand même, avec un primordial de plus, on se retrouve avec vachement plus de puissance de feu. Il n'y a pas de doute. Ces machins là. Il y a quelques heures, je galérais à les buter. Je sais que ça peut être frustrant pour les gens qui regardent de me voir aller à gauche, à droite, faire des quêtes secondaires, alors que clairement il y a ces pauvres gens au monastère qui sont en train de mourir. Mais quand je vois un truc qui brille, je ne peux pas m'empêcher, je suis désolé. Et puis bon, quand même la grosse partie fun du jeu, ça reste quand même le système de combat. Ça me fait chier de passer à côté de quelques combats un peu sympas. Alors, juste ce truc là, je trouve que c'est juste pas possible. Ça stoppe le combat, il aurait fallu un truc en mode visée auto. Mais je vais dans la bonne direction. Mais pas du tout, mais pas du tout. Bon, je vais quand même prendre ça. Il me faudrait une monture aussi, ce serait pas mal quand même. Est-ce qu'il y a des gens qui savent si s'ils ont prévu des DLC pour ce jeu? Alors je suis pas spécialement fan des DLC, hein, comme la plupart des gens, mais comme il y a des trucs que j'aimerais voir rajouter en fait. Des trucs à la con, hein, genre des mini-jeux ou des élevages de chocobos. Ça c'est des ennemis ou c'est pas des ennemis ça? Ça a l'air d'être des ennemis. C'est où? Mais... N'hésitez pas à me dire si vous trouvez que je suis mauvais. Ah, un truc qui brille. Il me fait l'impression d'être le chien dans Up.
Are we too late?
There might still be someone inside.
On va enlever la webcam pour les textes.
No.
Damn it.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offense.
And for their crimes shall they be punished. Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
How dare you speak those words? Have you no honor?
Clive.
This won't take long.
Et je suis revenu. Merde. Généralement ça s'appelle ça. Oh bâtard. Ouais, je suis un peu déçu du coup, je pensais que ça durerait un peu plus longtemps.
Is that all of them?
Franchement, vous imaginez un jeu comme ça, en monde ouvert, même système de combat, jouable à 4, avec vos potes. C'est pas juste trop bien. Moi j'ai toujours rêvé déjà d'avoir un genre de DMC où on puisse se balancer les ennemis à la gueule avec les potes. Oh, on peut quand même aller regarder là-bas.
The abbot.
The bearers died protecting him, calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Trop tard.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true. The Black Shields will return. The cullings will continue. Rosaria will never be saved unless we save her. Tell Matt to beg his aid and tell her this wasn't her fault.
I shall.
Sid! Where are you? Sid!
In here! We found a survivor!
Clive. He's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest. But the bearers... they didn't need to die like this.
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms, fighting for those who fought for them.
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials so she and the abbot could escape.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Radix jump. The currents there are swift. If the abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting. I'll get someone to...
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
Le plus macabre des Pères Noël. Il va se retrouver avec son sac de restes humains sur l'épaule. C'est lent, c'est lent. Merde, j'ai juste trompé le bouton. Ça se tue ça? Ça se tue. Ah non, c'est toujours pas rond pour accélérer. Encore Elden Ring. Ok. Cible d'élite. On peut trouver aux 4 coins de Valistea des ennemis extrêmement dangereux que l'on appelle des cibles d'élite. Les vaincre permet d'obtenir des récompenses et des matériaux rares. Il est toujours possible de fuir après avoir engagé un combat contre une cible d'élite. Éviter les affrontements contre les ennemis de trop haut niveau est généralement préférable. Ok. On va commencer avec ça, non? Ah, ah le salaud. Merde, c'est parce qu'à chaque fois je veux foncer sur lui. En fait je veux esquiver. Le problème c'est que... Je sais pas si c'était la bonne idée de faire ça, mais... Merde. Ah oui, c'est vrai que je peux faire ça aussi. Pas du tout ce que je veux faire. Merde, j'ai utilisé une potion. C'est vrai qu'il faut que je demande au chien de faire des trucs. Ok. Ok, je m'attendais pas à ça. C'est vrai qu'il fait quand même un peu mal, hein. Enfin, par rapport aux autres ennemis, en tout cas. Aïe, aïe, aïe. Merde. Merde, mauvais. Ah, vache. Ouh. Bon, j'ai utilisé une potion, je suis un peu déçu. Teabagging. Ah, je peux pas. Bon, tant pis.
That must be the bridge. So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden, and bear it out to sea.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so. What of the Imperials?
A pyre was made. It's more than they deserve. We should go back. Cole is worried about Martha.
All right.
Mhm.
We're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
No one survived then?
I'm sorry. Before he passed, one of them bade me tell you not to blame yourself.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean their blood's not on my hands. Cole said you cast their remains. That was good of you. But it should have been me. This was all my fault.
How? You couldn't have known.
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the warnings like the fool I am. The rumors started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages in the dead of night to slit the throats of sleeping bearers. But I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to a fugitive bearer.
And in ordinary times you would have been right. What these Black Shields are doing is unthinkable. Which begs the question, why do it at all? My mother obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them, preferably big ones. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten my people, they're in for a rude awakening. Oh, before I forget, a Stolas from Otto landed just before you arrived. He asked me to tell you that Gav has returned.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I wouldn't turn my nose up if you were to lend me a pair of them strapping young curse breakers.
Bon, très bien. C'est quoi ce petit plus? Et qu'il y aurait des quêtes dans le coin?
Try not to move. You'll only make it worse.
Oi! You handy with that sword of yours? Course you are. Bet you're a bloody marvel with the thing. Now, question is, are you willing to use it or not? 'Cause
Chocobos.
you heard me right. Wild bird, and not just any chocobos at that. Whiteheart and her flock are the bravest birds you ever did see.
Chocobos. Fight.
It's true. Why, they saved me from a gang of footpads only yesterday. Nasty lot. Oh, go on then. Don't just...
Allez.
All right.
There's a...
Where can I find these?
I saw him cut across the way over yonder. The rotten scoundrels were driving the poor things towards the old dock. You save Whiteheart and her flock, you hear me? There ain't a pluckier bird in all the world. She's a... Don't worry. You'll know her when you see her.
I'm sure I will.
And good luck to you. And give those...
Wait hard.
Beaucoup de vie.
That's quite a name for a chocobo.
On va essayer comme ça quand même.
A white feather. I thought Ambrosia was one of a kind. Speaking of brave birds. Looks like they went that way.
Oh oh, est-ce que je vais retrouver mon chocobo? Vraiment du mal à enchaîner la magie à la fin du combo. J'y arrive sur le troisième et sur le quatrième, j'ai vraiment du mal. Bon, ma barre est quasiment pleine, ça veut dire que je vais pouvoir me régénérer un petit peu.
These chocobos aren't going down without a fight.
Ouais, non, lui il va plus m'enlever de vie que je vais en régénérer. Quoique. Non, allez, on va suivre l'histoire principale. Les quêtes secondaires, on va pas se mettre à chasser juste pour chasser.
They're in trouble.
We got you cornered, Feathers. You didn't think you'd seen the last of us, did you? You've been bad for business. But I reckon someone will pay good coin to mount your head on their wall.
Not around here, they won't.
Oh. And why's that, eh?
Because she's something of a hero in these parts. You hurt her, and I hurt you.
Piss off. Or better still, how about we hurt you both?
All right then. But don't say I didn't warn you. Let's try.
Non merde. Ok, c'est une merde. Merde. Oh. Merde. Oh, j'ai du mal, hein, le bouton esquive, vraiment. Ça dure pas longtemps, mais... Merde! Bon, fallait que ça arrive. Vouloir pas utiliser de potion. Vous m'en voudrez pas, hein, je passerai les dialogues.
We got you cornered, Feathers. You didn't think you'd seen the last of us, did you?
J'ai dit que j'allais passer les dialogues. Comment on fait? C'est tout? Quoi, hein. Bon, allez, avec potion. Ouais. Yes, il y a des attaques des fois où le timer je l'ai vraiment pas. Hein. Encore mourir. Mais j'y arrive vraiment pas. Hein, pas très bon, hein, on va pas se mentir.
You're safe now. White Hart, I presume. Do you know her, boy? That scar. It couldn't be. Ambrosia. It is you. You survived. And you found yourself a flock.
Oi! Is it over? I thought I'd come and see how you were getting on. Oh, you sorted the bastards then. I knew you would. And the whole flock made it through unscathed.
Thankfully, they did. And not only that.
Well, I'll be. I never stopped to think our hero here might once have been someone's mount. Though I dare say she'd suit a fine fellow like yourself. Reckon our feathered friend must have learned a thing or two from her master. Kind-hearted warrior that you are. Bird like her would have cost a princely sum. You born a lord or something?
Well,
Oh, no, sorry. I didn't mean to pry. Don't matter who you are.
What is it, girl?
She wants her master back, I reckon. Told you. And it seems her pals agree.
Is that it? You want to come with me?
Il a clairement un œil plus expressif que l'autre. Hein.
Well, bugger me if this ain't a heartwarming sight. The lads down the stables will be hearing about this tonight. Oh, stay right where you are.
Et en plus, c'est assorti à mon armure. Mais c'est pas magnifique, ça. Oh, le cache-œil, magnifique.
Doesn't she cut an handsome figure, eh?
She does indeed. How much do I owe you?
Ah, a few scraps of leather's the very least I owe old Whiteheart. Oh, I'll be sad to see her go, of course. Don't you worry. We'll get along just fine without her. You hear that, Whiteheart? You've earned yourself some time off. You have... You seem awful familiar. That's it. When those chocobos swarmed my cart on the road, didn't you?
Must have been my double.
Oh, must have been, eh? Oh, that'll be the excitement getting to me. Silly sod that I am. Anyhow, best be on my way.
You take care of your flock, Finn. I'll call you when I need.
Clive peut désormais se déplacer sur sa monture personnelle Ambroisie. Il suffit de maintenir R3 dans une zone extérieure pour appeler et d'appuyer sur croix pour la monter. Ok. Donc...
Ready, go?
Ok, Sprinter 2. Ça peut attaquer ce truc ou... Ça peut attaquer a priori. Je vais aller où moi d'ailleurs? En fait, je vais aller là.
Where's Gav?
I hear there's trouble.
Ah, Clive! How I've missed that scowl.
Parce que la monture appartient pas à la mauvaise personne.
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
While the two nations beat their shields, the rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the Mother Crystals. Four Mother Crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rossfield.
Lord Byron Rossfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rossfield. And you're a Rossfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune. Along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
Disponibilité de nouveaux services. Vous avez désormais accès à de nouveaux services au repère, le comptoir des quêtes, le comptoir des récompenses, le tableau des contrats d'élite. Ils apparaissent sur la carte de la zone, accessible en appuyant sur le bouton pavé tactile de la manette PlayStation 5. J'ai rajouté un peu ça à la fin. Ok.
What are we waiting for, indeed?
Alors, il est où le forgeron déjà? Ok, là-bas.
I think it's all right to touch him.
Back, are ya? What do you want?
Alors. Ok, ça ne m'intéresse pas. Ça ne m'intéresse pas. Plus. Il peut rien faire. Bon, au moins c'est plus comme sur le début du jeu où On avait une nouvelle arme toutes les 3 secondes. Ça valait pas tellement le coup de faire monter quoi que ce soit. Merde.
Won't be long now, Martel. See, I am,
Is everything all right?
Oh.
It's good to know there's something of the old...
Martel's pride. I took it on, and not only is it ready...
Impressive.
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse breakers, on account of all they do for the hideaway. You couldn't take them some, could you? Oh, she always had a soft spot for that lot, see? And once they've had their share, I'll see to it that everyone else gets some. Here you go, Martel. You hear that, Martel? Today?
How much water can a flower get? Did you come through the forge today?
Je vais visiblement pas dans la bonne direction. Par là-haut? Non, directement non.
I hear there's trouble in Rosaria.
That broom's as ragged as...
You two look like you could use something to eat. Here.
L'intérêt de devoir sélectionner les objets qu'on donne, c'est pas... À moins qu'à un moment, ils nous donnent le choix de donner ou non, quoi.
Weren't she the girl from the Furrows?
Course she was. An odd sort, that one. Loved
Aye, and brave as a bane might. Remember when she ran back into the hideaway to collect them trees when Titan attacked? Wait.
These aren't those apples, are they? Well, I'll be. She'd have been proud, and rightly so.
Others weren't so lucky, though.
Donc je suis là, je vais regarder quand même.
Ah, yes. Mysterious. I'll stick with nectar if it's all the same to you. What seems to be the matter? The hunt board? It's where the curse breakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Right. Well, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war. The last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the curse breakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can.
Il est possible de consulter une liste d'ennemis particulièrement dangereux qui rôdent aux 4 coins de Valisthea sur le tableau des contrats d'élite. Les informations sur leur lieu d'apparition et les récompenses y sont inscrits. De nouveaux contrats seront ajoutés en présent dans l'épopée. Ok. Ça va pas l'air... Ok. Belle Fégor, dis donc. Ouais, c'est bon. Ah mais merde, il y avait un autre bonhomme là-bas.
A gift from the backyard.
Blimey, these take me back. I haven't seen it. Old Sid was the only one who could stomach. He'd have them right from the branch, made Martell livid. Not that anyone...
That sounds like the Sidine.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourselves, were you? Hang on. These aren't Martell. I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy, not in the Deadlands. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work. Clive, tell the lad down in the backyard to run...
Well, I've got some manners at least. In fact, you can leave the basket with me. I'll see that the others get there.
That was the last of the apples. I should head to the backyard and pass along everyone's regards.
Clive! Quick look.
Bon, au moins c'est rapide.
Oh, Clark!
The patrons, what does that mean?
Oh no, that's still me. It's just Karen has her toll, Blackthorn has his hammer. I thought I knew. I still catalogue every item that arrives. Your benefactors are a generous lot.
Le comptoir des récompenses. Il est possible d'obtenir des récompenses en fonction de son niveau de réputation. Le niveau de réputation augmente en terminant des quêtes ou en abattant des cibles d'élite. Ok, ah donc ça me donne des points. Et ça me permet... Et des trucs avec. Ou alors... On va voir.
All yours.
Ah non, en fait ça débloque au fur et à mesure. Très bien.
Come again. I may have more for you.
J'allais revoir l'autre là-bas.
That room's as ragged as...
You think it's all right to touch him?
The Cursebreakers sent their thanks. They were clearly very fond of Martell.
They remembered her. After all, I suppose she was very kind, even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. You were one of the good ones, Marta. She put everything into her work. She wasn't going to rest until we had fruit sweet enough to enjoy. And when she died, I named a sapling after her. And now it's a full-grown tree.
And through you.
I didn't do anything, really.
By the
Ouais, on s'en fout.
They like your fruit, Martell?
Voilà la poix, monsieur.
Well, find is one.
Ugh. Reeks like a chocobo's arse.
Argo. So your boat has a name. I didn't know.
Yeah. Same as me old man. He was a ferryman himself back before the blood.
Ramener de la poix, ça donne autant que tuer un monstre d'élite quand même, c'est moche.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends?
Il y a forcément quelque chose ici, non?
Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber.
En fait, c'est juste que je voulais aller beaucoup trop loin.
Come on. Yeah.
Alors, voyons voir. Ouais, bon, c'est moyennement efficace quand même. J'ai l'impression que c'est plus rapide que courir même. Comment je vais descendre, ok.
Straight home now.
faster.
Bon, j'ai enlevé la webcam, mais si vous voulez que je la remette, n'hésitez pas.
Be safe.
Me demander. C'est pas du tout ce que je voulais faire. Mais ça marche, donc voilà. Merde. J'ai vraiment du mal avec le dernier combo, hein. Merde! J'ai oublié de me remettre sur le chien. Ah, hein. Raté. C'est par là. Il n'y a rien et que j'ai fait tout le déplacement pour rien. Je vais être un peu fâché. Alors il y a quelque chose mais qui visiblement ne sert à rien pour le moment. Super.
Good girl.
Allez, c'est parti. Ouais, un truc qui brille là-bas, mais tant pis. Au bout d'un moment, faut suivre la quête. Ouais, mais là en même temps, il m'a agressé, on est d'accord. Hein. Et pourquoi il veut pas le faire ? Oui, mais c'était des méchants.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! Nothing, we're loyalists.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all, for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like the miller's son?
You're a long way from home, aren't you?
Ça coûte cher la musique quand même. Hein.
Fare you well?
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, the Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits. You'd have to be dull as a sack of stones to think you could take on the Empire. What with their 100 full legions?
We're going hunting for outlaws. 2 more left to join the garrison.
You seen him, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. Just now. You seen them, didn't you? At least I think they was the Black Shields. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
What do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harboring firebrands. Huh. If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a Black Shield myself.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to find out.
C'est une petite maison comme ça que je cherche, moi. En Bretagne. Franchement. Un petit jardin, là. Comme ça. On voit à perte de vue.
Greetings, friend.
Mais avec la
We
fibre.
are travelers.
Attention.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing those Imperial soldiers who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another East Pool.
Then we shall be on our way. These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
Come on. Run like the wind. This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Be safe. Ever since the apothecary, we've seen more and more of these echoes.
What do you think is waking them? The mother crystal's collapse?
I have an idea. You're not going to like it.
Oh là 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 là. Chaque fois, je me trompe de compétences. C'est pas grave, hein, surtout que maintenant je la récupère un peu plus rapidement, mais... Alors... À droite ou à gauche? À gauche. Évidemment. C'est quoi ça? Quoi?
More of my mother's men.
C'était donc un corps. Merde. Ah oui.
Time to fight.
C'est l'autre que je vais lancer évidemment. Je suis pas fan de cette musique d'ambiance. Le côté... Ah, j'ai du mal. Le côté oppressant est bien là. Mais je trouve pas ça...
Blood, Clive.
And still wet.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel. Why then, we owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these, our swords we swear.
Say that again.
Ça fait long quand même pour redire.
I'll show you a true shield of Rosaria.
En fait, tant qu'il n'y a pas besoin d'esquiver, c'est pas très dérangeant le fait que ce soit plein d'effets à l'écran.
Tell me what I want and the end will be swift. Who are you looking for?
Why, you. We come bearing a message. Your friends have been found. The branded you freed from our camps. They await you in Ordeal. Guardians of the Flame.
Mais
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
c'est pas sympa, hein, parce qu'il lui avait dit qu'il abrégerait ses souffrances s'il parlait, il a parlé. On va lui mettre un petit coup d'épée. Ça servira à rien, mais c'est pas grave. Tiens, tiens, ouais, c'est bon. Bon, probable cinématique.
Find something, boy. Death.
Found her.
Sympa la déco.
This was my mother's doing.
J'ai envie de dire, nique sa mère.
But why? Why would anyone?
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Oh, Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
We can't leave them here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
Non, je vais pas fouiller, c'est pas le moment.
No use calling Ambrosia now. We're approaching Buick Bridge. Though I doubt the Empire would let us cross over to Rosalith.
I did, Mummy! I could hear him shouting from down the road.
They're all Rosarian.
But this is their home.
You find no succor to the south travellers, nor beyond the Buet. The Empire has seen fit to banish us from our own land.
Putain, d'ailleurs, ça fait un petit moment que j'ai pas monté mes sorts. Voyons voir. « 1420, qu'est-ce que je peux améliorer avec ça? » De toute façon, celui-là, je l'utilise pas beaucoup. Là non plus. Là, par contre, oui, mais j'ai pas assez. Et bah, je pense qu'on va rester comme ça. Oh, celui-là, pas grand-chose, on peut y aller. Aussi. De même. Ceux-là, quand même, je les commence à les utiliser un petit peu. Hein. Celui-là est bien sympa quand on est encerclé. Bon, on va rester comme ça. Allez, c'est parti.
the Lazarus. What happened to this place?
My mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Let's hope my uncle fared better.
Il y a une barre d'XP quelque part sur l'écran, je crois pas. Non.
That's the main gate. And it looks like we're not the only ones hoping to get in.
Let us pass! My children are starving! Have mercy! Voice-rinsed dogs they are! You can't ignore us forever!
Let us in, or we'll die on your doorstep!
Better out there than in here!
Oh, then enough
Let
rhetoric!
fuck off!
And you generous bastards! Those crystals belong to us all!
I said, where were you, filth? Back to your sties! Cut you down where you stand!
Destroy it!
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in. I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. The Lazarus. We'll find our way into the city there.
If you're sure. The entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
Des os ont frappé à ma porte. Non,
As long as it is abandoned.
The good news is we haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for. This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
Not abandoned then.
Oi! Visitors!
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out. Or not.
Je sais que je suis pas censé faire ça, parce que en vrai comme c'est un soin, c'est plutôt l'utiliser contre le manque de la vie, mais...
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died. Huh? Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Founder, it really is you.
It is. So wait.
Bro.
We can speak inside.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye. The foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord, but in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge. Then so do we. Make ready. This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
You're telling me that's the
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buett Bridge, and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
So Wade, the bearers from Old Hill have been laid to rest.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
Thank you, Sir Wade. Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
And so we shall.
Alors, membre temporaire de l'équipe. Un personnage temporaire vient de rejoindre l'équipe. Les personnages temporaires ne font partie de l'équipe que sur la zone où vous vous trouvez. Ils ne vous suivront pas si vous vous déplacez sur la map monde. Oui, ok.
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
Gentil, merci.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village. We tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Look at me sideways.
Come along now.
Bastards are lucky I didn't.
There they are. On your command, my lord.
J'aime vraiment beaucoup le design des mages.
What is it now? I told you! We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come!
Quand même, dans leur liste des trucs pas cool, il y a vagabond, femme, chien.
For Rosaria!
For Rosaria!
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
Merde. Oh merde, c'est pas suffisant.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
Another wyvern to fight their battles for them.
Encore une fois, c'était stupide de faire ça.
The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
Ça fait très très mal, Ramu.
A noble stand, albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point, that this land is in dire need of cleansing.
Ok, là ça va plus être la même. Merde, je peux pas me gratter le nez. Oula, oula, ça sent la mort. On va être obligé de claquer une potion. Merde. Ah, le chien.
I don't see any more.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud! My, Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot, Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it, as we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die, and her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
Ah, ils n'ont pas fini avec leur scène cinématique là. Non, on aime bien les cinématiques. Un Final Fantasy quand même.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians.
Encore un
Display it, and
pince.
those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue!
Salut tonton.
You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot,
loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint in the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford. So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster?
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us, then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
Your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
Elle a pas promis. On sait ce que ça veut dire. Allez. Est-ce qu'on a de nouvel équipement à faire? Est-ce qu'on a de nouvelles quêtes à faire?
Only the Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
Typical nobles.
How did we never
There are
hear
new
of
billets
the
being
Guardians of the
posted
Flame?
every...
Clive! Oh, am I glad to see you?
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. He ain't himself. And if I'm honest, he ain't been for a while. Normally it only takes a couple of drinks to perk him back up, but not this time. Something's getting him down. And whatever it is, he ain't telling. It's like he's lost his spark, you know? He's barely got enough fire in his belly to get the ump about stuff. But I'm thinking he might if we both bent his ear, because he respects you, innit? So, what you say?
Fine.
Je trouve que ça voit comme ça avec son visage.
Knew you'd understand.
But if he doesn't want to talk...
All right. Now, he'll only smell a rat if we both turn up at once. So, I'll go first, and you can meet us at the forge. Wait a bit, then head over when you're ready.
Nouvelle récompense de réputation.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back, so...
Mhm.
Here you are. Best of luck out there, Sid.
Alors, marchand ambulant de Val-Norvent ont récemment évoqué la présence d'une créature ailée semblable à une harpie qui se trouvait sur la route du port. Même si cette histoire pourrait être un simple racontard, il est recommandé à ceux qui traversent la région de faire usage de prudence. Alors, donc, Val-Norvent et vers le fort, c'est ok.
Back again, Lord Rosfield. I'm touched that you should find me such good company.
It is not your company, but your counsel that I seek on this occasion.
Ever the charmer. What will it be today, then?
The Iron Kingdom. I need to know what to expect.
You'll soon be setting sail for Drake's Breath, then, I take it. The mother crystal that rises from the boiling sea. There was a time when a true-blooded Rosarian had only to brave the waves to visit it. But then the Ironblood made their move. As you know, the Iron Kingdom rules over the islands to the west of Storm. Or rather, its church does. But this is not the pragmatic approach to state religion employed by the Holy Empire to manipulate the masses. No, the Iron Kingdom is the literal embodiment of the crystalline orthodoxy. And so, if one is to understand it, one must start there. As the name implies, the orthodoxy holds the mother crystals sacred, and they do not take kindly to heathens plundering the objects of their worship for the means to fill washtubs and light lamps with frivolous feats of magic. Indeed, the faithful consider ether a sinful thing, a poison no less. And to them, a dominant is an instrument of evil, albeit one they have proven only too happy to turn against their enemies. Some 80 years ago in Northern Storm, Drake's eye collapsed. Soon after, in pursuit of ether and with the blight at their backs, the Northern Territories descended upon the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. And when the Shields of the Flame marched north to meet them, the Iron Kingdom spied an opportunity. A few short days later, the Crusaders landed on the island of Mount Drustanus, home of Drake's Breath, and plucked it from the Duchy's grasp. Rosaria tried to reclaim it, of course, but to no avail. I doubt more than a handful of Duchy men have set foot on its shores in your lifetime. Nor are they like to again, under the Empire's stewardship, meaning the Iron Blood will keep their island, and with it, the foothold they need to march on mainland soil when next they spy an opportunity. The Mother Crystal is both the object of the Iron Blood's worship and their gateway to the continent, making Drustanus the holiest of holy grounds, from which the Orthodox Crusade shall one day sail forth to claim the remaining Mother Crystals, or die trying.
My father and my grandfather both traded blows with the Iron Blood for control of Drake's Breath. Had things unfolded differently at Phoenix Gate, we would have sent our entire fleet against them.
But instead, they sent their fleet against Rosaria, sacked the capital, killed the men, and captured the women, including Jill. I'd say you'd be forgiven for wanting a little revenge, Clive.
My only aim is to destroy the Mother Crystal. But thank you all the same. Not much else to do here. Let's see if Jill's ready.
Bon, eh ben écoutez, je pense que je vais voir si c'est possible d'aller faire cette créature de rang C là. Et si c'est le cas, on va le faire tout de suite. Et si c'est pas le cas, je pense que je vais m'arrêter là. C'est là, on est d'accord. Hein. Ouais, c'était machin de Norvent et c'était près du fort. Allez hop, on y va. Voyons voir ce que ça vaut comme créature. Et est-ce que je serais aussi mauvais que je le pense pour la tuer? Pardon. Réveillé à 6 h ce matin.
Good girl.
Alors. Val-Norvent, on a dit. Donc le fort, il est où? C'est ça du coup le fort? Bon bah écoutez, on va essayer de faire le passage, on va remonter par ici et aller par là-bas puisque c'était nord de Val-Norvent il me semble. Allez.
Faster.
Je suppose que ça doit être une grosse créature quand même, on devrait la voir. Oui, ça serait ça le fort, on est d'accord. C'est censé être une harpie. Il n'y a pas de harpie ici, on est d'accord. Ah, ça serait pas ça? Mais si, c'est ça. Allez.
That's what I think it is. This isn't gonna be easy.
Ah! Merde.
You're a fine hound.
Bon bah facile. Matériaux.
Rest well. I know I will.
Eh bah écoutez, retour case départ.
I didn't take you for a scholarly van.
Oh, this? Well, it's Valisthea. I borrowed it from old tomes. Seems there's no creature in the realm so foul it can't be cooked up.
Think I'll stick to the unfoul ones, thank.
Oh, where's your sense of adventure, Sid? Honestly, one glance at these recipes, and even you would trade in yours from spit roasts to sweetmeats. This book has them all. What I wouldn't give.
If it's my blessing you're hoping for, then by all means.
Well, I'm no hunter, Sid. The first ton of work, but you're made of sterner stuff.
Allez,
The
on va faire la popote.
That monster's taken quite a liking to Lady Karen.
First August. What's it got to do with me?
August was worried that something had been wet. I thought you might want to talk about.
I told you not to stick your nose in my...
Clive just wants to help, innit? Talk to him. You never know. Please, mate.
It's not the sort of thing you bother people about.
Why don't you tell us all?
Karen and I have an arrangement. I keep an eye on Goots, and she shows me what the competition's up to. Interesting arms and armor, things like that. Anyway, the other day, she shows me a cuirass she's come by. Masterpiece of level work. Light, supple, and tougher than it had any right to be. Made my stuff look like I should have brought the bastard thing there and then just to study it, but I was too proud. And now every time I reach for my hand there, you got what you came for.
All right.
Ça va, c'était pas non plus... Voilà.
I always thought of old Blackthorn as a bit of a force of nature. Like, didn't think anything could rattle him.
Blackthorn's always taken pride in his craft. Questioning it, something tells me this is only going to get worse. If he has doubts, it will affect his work.
I couldn't agree more.
He said he should have bought that cuirass. Assuming you're happy to...
Too bloody right.
Glad to hear it.
Ouais, non, la flemme là tout de suite. À moins qu'elle soit vraiment pas loin.
Clive. I'm saying for you, dear. And?
Karen, Blackthorn mentioned that you'd recently come by a leather cuirass.
And he ain't been himself since he saw it. So...
Sorry, sold it already. Didn't think Blackthorn cared for it the way he turned his nose up. But it was nicely put together, that's for certain. Even if the bloke makes all his stuff to order, but the fella who commissioned it refused to pay. He didn't...
You don't know where we might find...
Like I said, he's a bit of an odd one. Don't trust hunters neither, which means he spends as much time out tracking beasties as he does working their hide.
I see.
He did tell me something that apparently his next commission's for a set of griffin hide.
Here, there's a griffin on the hunt board. The curse breakers were placing bets on who'd bag it. Now what?
Thank you, Karen. We belong.
At least you admit it.
So, it sounds like going after that griffin might be the best chance we have of finding our roaming leatherworker.
I'll leave the hunting to you if you don't mind. While you get on with that, I'll ask around the markets. See if I can't sniff out who he is.
Good idea. Hopefully.
Allez, il faut que je m'arrête. C'est complètement un griffon. Je sais pas pourquoi ils ont traduit Deusmar en français. Ah, c'est dur en B aussi, hein. Ok, eh ben écoutez, de toute façon on va s'arrêter là. Alors, globalement c'est la guerre. On va aller péter un autre cristal, qui est cool. Ça veut dire probablement un nouveau pouvoir bientôt. Ramu est très puissant, même si c'est vraiment pas le style de compétence que j'apprécie. J'aime bien les gros dégâts de zone moi, mais bon. Pas tout à voir. Ouais, non, j'ai pas envie. Je vous dis à très bientôt. Moi, je reviens. J'aurai peut-être dimanche. C'est pas sûr. Ça va dépendre de si j'arrive à trouver du temps pour jouer avec mes potes. Je vous souhaite une bonne journée. N'hésitez pas à aller regarder les vidéos sur YouTube si vous avez envie de voir le début. Et n'hésitez pas à vous abonner si vous voulez voir la suite. Je vous souhaite une bonne journée. Je vous dis à très bientôt. Et je pars. Ciao.